Hello and welcome to upstate New York. We have been in upstate New York now, I think this is day 2. Yesterday we stayed, one of my friends from college, Sienna, her family has a house basically on the border of like upstate New York and Vermont, and so we were able to stay there last night. We spent most of the day there today, and then we drove 4 hours to the Finger Lakes, and we are at Watkins Glen State Park. It's like right next to Seneca Lake. It's a little bit rainy and stuff, so not great, but we will show you. We just got here. Starlink is giving us issues, classic, even though we actually have like a pretty clear spot. Nick will show you the campground, and then I think we're gonna go on a little walk. We're like right next to the entrance of the Gorge Trail, and we're gonna spend some time here tomorrow before staying at another campground tomorrow on the lake, before heading on our way. What an adventure. This week is gonna be full of like just in one spot for a few days, and then we're just gonna keep going. So it's gonna be a little bit faster pace than how we've been doing it in the past. So anyways.
So here's our little campsite. It's actually a lot bigger than most of the other ones that we've stayed at recently. We've got tons of room to back in. It's actually a clear open spot. So Starlink has been working a little bit better than normal. Still giving us a little bit of problems, but way better than it has been recently. So we're very excited. This is our spot, 188. There's a little waterfall trail right there. Right about here. So we're gonna go take that in just a little bit because we've been driving for like 4 hours, and then we'll probably come back and I'm probably gonna edit some more videos, and then we'll discuss what we're gonna do next.
Yay. Guys, look at this. We literally, like, our campground is right up there, and so we just walk down these steps and look at this. We'll see that from a better angle in a second, but look how cool this is.
This is so cool. It's like a little mini Grand Canyon. So in a couple days, we're gonna go to Letchworth Park, which they call the Grand Canyon of the East. But this is like a little taste of apparently what it's supposed to be like. You might have to do that.
Why? Waterfall over there, you can like kind of see it. It's raining a little bit. This is cool. Guys, we're just wandering along and we're both just like so amazed at this place. If you're ever anywhere near upstate New York, go out of your way to come here to Watkins Glen. It is so cool. We're literally just on this like random trail, and look at this. This is like all these.
It's like a combo of the Grand Canyon and Carlsbad Caverns, like put together.
Look at this. So this spot right here, I took a little video when we were closer over there. This is called Rainbow Waterfall. It's beautiful, and we love it. You guys, this is one of the coolest places I think I've ever been. It's so rad. We're basically to the front, and so we're gonna have to basically hike all the way back up, but it's so cool. There's a waterfall right there. We're on top of this bridge. Wow, that's a little town. So now that we've basically done it one way, we're heading back, and I think this way is going to be even prettier because heading here, we just kept having to like turn around to see all of the waterfalls, and this way we'll be able to like see them as we're walking, which would be really cool. Nick says this is his favorite state park, so I'm going to let him talk about that for a second.
So I really like this state park. It's really majestic, and I just feel like it's really cool to look at. It feels like I'm in another country, which is kind of cool. Like, I'll show you this entrance right here. I don't know, for me, I just feel like I'm in like India. Like, this is what I envision like India being like. I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe one day we'll find out, but yeah, it's just really cool because there's all these cliff sides that are really sheer, crazy drop-offs. And then in the middle, there's like this canyon or gorge with waterfalls the whole way. It's pretty awesome.
So for instance, we're just wandering up and we came down that. So it was really cool, but like walking up to this, way cooler.
So disclaimer, it's really, really awesome here to check out all of the geological things, but it is hecka humid. I had to take my...
Good morning. So, during the, okay, Nick. During the trail yesterday, my phone died and Nick's phone ran out of storage, so we did not get to like show you everything. But we'll tell you our thoughts. So again, we're at Watkins Glen State Park.
Yeah, I really liked it. Yeah, it was super cool. There's like one thing that we haven't checked out, which is a suspension bridge, which we saw from underneath yesterday. But we're going to go back and check out. We're going to go walk on it. So hopefully we can get a little bit of a better view. But it's one of the coolest state parks I have been to. It's probably my favorite one because it's just so unique and so strange. I love it.
So yeah, overall, really like it. This campground is pretty alright. Finally, Starlink kind of started working last night, which is nice. If you're in the area, highly suggest coming here. Today, we are heading to, so Watkins State Park is right next to one of the Finger Lakes. It's called Seneca Lake, and it's pretty long. And so halfway up is this other state park called Sampson State Park. So it's 40 minutes from here, and I think that's where we're staying tonight. And so I'm not sure how long we're gonna stay here at Watkins Glen today. It's 9:40. We slept in. Yay! It's been a while since I got to sleep in. I'm trying to think what else to say. This is a map. It's kind of messy, but this is a map of the state park, and we walked basically all of this yesterday. Phenomenal. And the walk itself wasn't terrible. We got really sweaty because it was hecka humid. Like, Nick was standing because I was taking a picture. He was standing and his glasses fogged up. So very, very humid. So we were sweating a lot. But other than that, it was like a really awesome experience. And then if you want to go camping, they have all of these different like campsites, and we're over here. One of the best parts of ours is that we were right next to the trail to the gorge, and so it was just great. And the sun sets at like 8:30, 8:40, so we got in at like 7, and then we just started going on the trail, and we got back at like 8:40, and the sun was like, it was like finally getting dark at that point. But it was really fun. We made it to the suspension bridge. So this is where we were at yesterday, down there. So we hiked along that the entire time.
Don't drop your phone.
So there's the suspension bridge. So we're on the path, and look, Nick found a little slug. Gross.
Frog yesterday.
Definitely still humid. Nick, you're gonna say that again.
We saw a frog yesterday.
We did see a frog yesterday. Super cute. It's very humid still. Way busier than it was yesterday. It could be the fact that we went from
Like 7 to
like
8:30.
yeah, we were there at like 7 p.m. so most people weren't out. And we're just kind of wandering around right now. I forgot how pretty it is. It's like so fun to be back in it. So yeah, highly recommend for like the 5th time to come here because we love it. Okay, so key takeaways from...
I thought you were taking a video of his truck. I was like,
Oh.
That's weird.
No, key takeaways of the state park. The main trail that we would highly suggest is the Gorge Trail. They also have like an upper part, it's called like the Indian Trail, and you can go along that way as well. Just not as cool views. it basically closes at sunset. So if you go a little bit later, way less people. And it was cool to come back and like see a few other things that maybe we didn't see yesterday. So we didn't like really go to the overlooks, and now going to the overlooks, I wouldn't necessarily say they're super worth it. I prefer to just like be right by the waterfalls. Any additional thoughts, Nick?
Yeah, the overlooks I think are cool, but there's like so much shrubbery that's like over it, you can't really see anything. So yeah, for us it was really nice to just like do the gorge hike because there's a lot to see and it's really cool.
So come here, do the gorge trail. Feel free to do the other stuff and let us know whether you liked it better. But gorge trail for us. Okay, this is our campsite at Sampson State Park. Not very many trees, which will be nice for Starlink. We're like right next to the bathroom / showers. Bunch of open space, which is really nice. We actually have like a soccer ball and a football that we can pull out. A lot of times there's just like not enough space. And then we're really close to the water too. It's just like right down that way. We're very excited. Honey. Yeah. So after being at our campsite for a few minutes, we decided to come over and see the lake. It's so long. It literally, we drove like 40 minutes and we were next to the lake the entire time to get here, which is pretty crazy, but it's super pretty. It's like so clear. What the heck?
It's so still. I mean, I guess it is pretty clear too.
It's like a little bit bizarre how like still the water is. There's also like not a ton of boats out there, which is also really weird for both of us. Any other thoughts on Seneca Lake?
There's a dead fish there.
There's a dead fish there, everybody.
Yeah, it's just kind of strange. Every other lake that I've been to, there's like a lot of boats, especially at a lake like this, there's a lot of boats. But there are not very many boats here, and it's kind of a weird vibe. It's kind of cool. It's like really beautiful, like looking to the other side and stuff. There's also a lot of dead fish.
There are a lot of dead fish right now. What the heck? Okay, so in between staying at state parks, we will be going back to another one tomorrow. But we're staying at this super cute orchard / farm, and they basically were like, hey, this is a self check-in. Don't stress about anything. Just kind of like come in, park, no stress. So Nick's been practicing the trumpet, and they just came up and brought us this like little basket of goodies. And so they bought us like fresh cherries, this fresh honey. It's literally from the bees that are like here in this orchard. They brought us some more maple syrup. So this is like the third time we've gotten maple syrup. This one is New York pure maple syrup. So I'm curious on how that is. They brought us some pancake mix, and this Italian dressing, and it's all like from around here, which is so sweet. She was so cute.
She was so nice.
Yeah.
I love cherries.
Is it good?
Mm-hmm.
So, super fun. What is this place called? Morgan's Farm Markets. They have like a little farmer's market like down on the other side of the road. They sell fresh produce all the time. So, if you're in the area, upstate New York, and you want a
Near
cute...
Palmyra.
Near Palmyra. Kind of cute.
Guys, the cherries are so good.
And they also have like, they do like you pick like strawberries and different things depending on the season and what they do. But they literally gave us like Italian dressing. They gave us...
they're farm markets, but their like main thing, they're berry farmers, which is pretty cool.
So I'm not a huge cherry person, so I'm kind of sad they didn't bring us strawberries, but I'll forgive them because Nick will eat all of these. We just made it to Letchworth State Park. This was one of the top like state parks. I think it was voted like the best state park in New York in like 2017 or something like that. Anyways, we just came in. If you stay here like at a campground, you don't have to pay the entrance fee, which is nice. Otherwise, it's like $10 a car. Not terrible, but I'm so excited to show you guys. We just got here and we're at an overlook. We're probably gonna go to the visitor center, a few different overlooks today. And then I don't think we can check in for another couple hours. So TBD on what we actually end up doing today, but very excited. This is it. All those people down there like rafting and stuff. Maybe we should do that. That looks fun. Wow. It's called the Grand Canyon of the East.
Okay, we are now on the trail for the lower falls. Also, I know you probably can't see, but my chest is right here. It's just in camouflage. Just kidding. We're going to the lower falls right now. We just checked out the visitor center. It's very small. There's not really anything there. It's basically just a gift shop.
Also, last video I said that this was like #1 state park in New York. Turns out in 2015, this was deemed the #1 state park in the country.
In America.
In America.
So it's really cool. One of the craziest things I would say, while we were driving here to like get to the state park, we were both like, I hope it's cool because there's no canyons anywhere.
It's just like fields.
It's just like fields, like agricultural fields. So then we came into the park, and then you drive like 2 seconds down the road and you're right in front of the gorge. It's friggin'
so
dope.
Crazy. On this trail at the very front of it, we literally like just started walking on the trail, and there's a freaking wedding happening on a Tuesday at like noon.
So we were in the pictures.
Accidentally, on purpose. Guys, look at this. We accidentally should not have gone this way. The trail is not bad, and it's really pretty views so far. Guys, look at that. That's so crazy. We're heading to that bridge right there so we can see it from over there, but dang, that's so dope. So this is the bridge. Still pretty muddy. Luckily I'm wearing my Vans, so it doesn't really matter. But you walk over, you can see over here, and look at that. That's a pretty dope view. I'm excited to see what it looks like on the easy path. Are you kidding? This just makes me so excited to go to Niagara Falls in a couple days. Okay, so our plan was to go see the other falls. However, Nick has a few work things and I have some work things that I need to do. So we're gonna start heading to the campground because we're here for another like 2 days. And so we have time to come back.
Hopefully they'll let us check in. So check in, according to the site, says 3 o'clock, but both of the other campsites that we've stayed at the state parks have said that we can check in early. So we've checked in like 2 hours early. So hopefully they'll let us in. We can do our work meetings. But as we were driving,
right now.
We saw this freaking amazing view.
Look at that. I mean, wow. That's so crazy. We've decided we're basically stopping at every single overlook. So here are all the overlooks of the state park. We first saw it over there. We just stopped over there. This is what we got right now. Beautiful. This is super cool, guys. We're just standing on this. I don't know if we're allowed to, but we are. Next overlook, not quite the same as the like south side, but still pretty cool.
All right, so we just pulled in. This is our cute little spot, 307. We have all this area right here. We have electric this time, which would be really nice. We have tons of space here, and we're right across from the bathrooms. So they have tons of stuff at this campsite. They have like a rec center type thing. They have fresh produce at the store. They have laundry. They have showers. So we're feeling very, very blessed being here.
Now we're how about we all take a selfie first and then you can... Okay, so it is our second day in the state park. I am basically wearing the same thing that I was yesterday. Don't mind that.
Me too.
So I worked last night, so did Nick, and this morning we also worked and did a bunch of stuff. So today we are driving around a little bit. There is a dam that we're at the overlook right now. Wow, that was really hard for me to say. We're going to the overlook, and then we're either going to see the falls later today, the other 2 falls that we talked about, or we're going tomorrow morning before we dip. Still to be determined, still trying to figure it out.
They have a little cute grill over there that we might check out afterwards because it said they have French fries.
And I love French
and
fries.
Tyler is very hungry.
Yes. So this is the overlook for the dam. I think we'd have to like leave the park and then go all the way around and then come back into the park on the other side if we wanted to go see it from that side. And I think you can like walk over to that side, and I don't think you can walk down over here. But look how pretty this is. Doesn't look like there's too much water in it right now. So we are at Inspiration Point. It's an overlook. It's like super foggy right now, so that's kind of lame because we can kind of see, and it's like really cool, but I bet if we would have come here yesterday it'd be even cooler. So I'll show you.
Cool.
Look at that, you guys. That's so awesome. So that's the Middle Falls, then there's Upper Falls behind it, and there's a really beautiful bridge behind it, but you can like barely see because of all the fog. So that's kind of lame. Guys, we're at the top of it.
There it is.
There's people over there. I think we'll walk over there. There, look, there's people getting married up there. That's so cute. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So this is middle, right?
This is Middle Falls. Does this make you excited or nervous for Niagara Falls?
I'm a little bit chilly, so I'm excited, but nervy for how cold it's gonna be. Hopefully the weather warms up in the next couple of days.
So we walked along this path for a while because Upper Falls and Middle Falls are like right next to each other. And look at that, you guys. It's so picturesque. I mean, look at this. It's so cool. I only wish that it was just slightly less foggy. Just slightly though. So this is Upper Falls. What do you think? What's been your favorite falls out of the three?
I think picturesque-wise, this one's really cool because it's got like that whole side is covered in green.
And the bridge?
And the bridge is really cool. But probably Middle Falls. Middle Falls is pretty awesome.
You heard it here. Whoa! You heard it here first, folks.
What was your favorite, babe?
Also probably Middle Falls. Upper Falls is pretty cool. Middle Falls is pretty cool. Middle Falls is pretty cool. I just feel like the magnitude, like you're right next to the Middle Falls.
So sorry, there's bugs
that one's
everywhere. Yeah.
That wraps our state park experiences in New York. We're gonna hurry and rank them and tell you some of our favorite parts about them. And the next video will be us in Niagara Falls for my birthday! Yay! So, first state park that we visited that you saw was Watkins Glen. Thoughts, Nick?
Watkins Glen, I think, was one of my all-time favorite state parks just because it's so different and so unique. Like the canyons and the gorge and the waterfalls and the rock formations. It just, I've never seen anything
so
like that.
cool.
So it was really, really cool. The only downside I would say is it's really small. So like we did basically the whole
Loop.
all of
Or
the
like
loop,
the
the
hike.
whole thing in like a day. Actually, it wasn't even a day. We did it in like 3 hours.
Yeah, it's like
so
2 hours. We
it's
just
like
took one.
really, really small, but it's so cool to look at. We did it the day after too, and we were just as like blown away. So
Still incredible. Campground there was pretty nice. I would say the worst part, Starlink did not work very well there. Best part, we were right next to the hike, so that was really awesome.
also kind of a downside because we were right next to the
Yeah.
trailhead.
So like
there was a
everybody
lot
was
of
kind of like
people.
walking
Yeah.
by our campsite. So I don't know if like that campsite was necessarily our favorite, but we loved the park. The next one we went to was Sampson State Park, which is on Seneca Lake. Thoughts, Nick?
So it was a training base for the Air Force and the Navy, like at and around World War II and the Korean War. So they had a lot of like military memorabilia, which was kind of cool. There's like a little museum there, which was kind of fun to walk around. I think think I liked the campsite. I wasn't like, I don't know, I'm like pretty mediocre, if that makes sense. So it didn't like blow me away, but it wasn't like the worst campsite we've ever stayed at. It was really interesting because the lake is like really still, and when we went, there was like no boaters or anything, so it was just kind of odd,
Different.
like being
It was
there.
just different.
There was nothing really going on, but they did have a lot of cool stuff. So we walked down like by the lake, and they had a
like
an
an
outdoor movie theater. So they
which
have
is
like
really
a concession
awesome.
stand where they had like pizza and popcorn and stuff, and then they just had like benches and picnic tables where you could go and watch a movie at night.
It rained while we were there,
Yeah, so
so
we didn't do it.
we did not go to that because everything would have been wet.
But it was cool. I don't think it was like my favorite place to stay.
Yeah, the campsite itself, I think we liked it a little bit better just because Starlink actually worked because it was so open. So we liked that. But there were some loud people next to us, so that wasn't ideal. But that's like campgrounds, you're just gonna have to deal with that. Enjoyed it, and I know that there's a lot of state parks in upstate New York on lakes, especially the Finger Lakes. So we enjoyed it. It was cool, but it wasn't like I would have rather been at Watkins Glen at that state park than Sampson State Park. And last but not least is this one that we're currently at, Letchworth State Park, also known as the Grand Canyon of the East. Nick, take it away.
So Letchworth is really cool. I think it's really unassuming because you drive around and it's all like fields, right? So it's like you're driving through like southeast Idaho.
Like in upstate New York as you're driving everywhere. It's
and
just
then you
fields.
get to the freaking Letchworth and it's just like bam, and then like there's a gigantic gorge that's like 500 and something feet deep. So it's kind of crazy to see everything, but Letchworth I feel like was the nicest because it was really open. It's really like kind of secluded, so it like the campsites are really nice. They have tons of open fields. They have like a camp store with like fresh produce and all this kind of stuff. So I think in terms of campsites and like location, Letchworth was probably my favorite.
And just like stuff to do, like there's a
Yeah.
bunch of like hiking trails.
They have a
I
rec
think you're
center.
supposed to just go straight.
Oh, they have a rec center down close to us, so they have like a swimming pool. They have like a couple small like ropes courses, and anyways,
You can go
tons of
river
stuff.
rafting, you can do a hot air balloon ride. We saw like 4 or 5 people getting married while we've been here. So overall, I would say Letchworth is like awesome. So overall, the state parks in upstate New York, incredible. And I'm kind of sad that we have not like gone out of our way to see all of the different state parks in all of the states now. So I feel like we've like really missed out just because upstate New York, man, they have some amazing state parks.
I think one thing to keep in mind with the state parks in New York, though, is that the campsites are just a lot closer than like campsites on the West Coast. Campsites on the West Coast are really spread out, so like you really feel isolated. On the East Coast, maybe it's just in New York, but I feel like especially the past 3 that we've been at, the campsites are just a little bit closer, so you feel a little more cozy with your neighbors. Which, if you're into that, then great. But if not, then just keep that in mind.
Also, something to keep in mind, every state is different in terms of how they charge for non-residents. So as I think we talked about in a previous video, Massachusetts, they charge a lot for out-of-state residents to stay at their state parks, which is why we didn't really explore Massachusetts. Here in New York, it's a $5 a night additional fee. And then if you book in advance, they also charge you like a
It's like an
$8 like reservation fee. So while it's not like brutal, I think it worked out to be like at $32 like a night, which is like a steal if you're used to some places and also really expensive if you're used to others. So that's just something to keep in mind. Love the state parks here, but they do charge different for out-of-state residents. So thanks for watching, and we're excited to go to Niagara Falls.